Designers, in this video we're going to look at how to create a nameplate for 3D printing. This nameplate will be used to label your storage crate while you work here in the design studio on a variety of projects. So let's get straight into it. So here is the model that the end result, what we're going to make in this tutorial. You can see we have some text in the center here. We go to the top view. We have a small hole here for a ring so that this could be attached to an item, and it's essentially made up of a rectangle, a few rectangles and a couple of circles. So let's look at how to create this. Going to start in a new document with a new sketch, and I'm going to choose the XY plane here. Fusion will rotate there, and we're going to begin with a rectangle. We're going to choose a center rectangle. It doesn't actually matter what kind of rectangle you use, but a center one is quite useful for this project. So the height is going to be 25 and the width is going to be 82. Okay, that's the overall size. I'm going to zoom in here of the nameplate. I'm going to use the offset tool with the letter O. I'm going to take an offset of the outer rectangle and I'm going to bring it in by 5 millimeters. This is the area where the letters of your name will appear. Okay, now I'm going to take a circle. I'll use C for circle. And along this line, you'll see it snaps like that as an X. I will bring out a circle and set that to 10 millimeters. Okay. Then I'll also create another circle in the center, and this circle will be 3 millimeters. Yes. And now I'm going to ensure that this circle is tangent to this line. So I'm going to use a tangent constraint. I'll select the perimeter of the large circle and just choose that line to create the tangency. Okay. Now I'm going to press escape so that I have left the constraint tool and just review the measurements here. So I have 82 long, I have 25 here wide, I have a 10 millimeter diameter outer circle and a 3 millimeter diameter inner circle, and that circle you can see with this glyph is tangent to that line. I'm now going to use the trim tool to trim away this part of the circle and these lines that I don't need. So I'll press T for trim, and I can now, you can think of the trim tool as like giving your sketch a haircut. So I'm going to cut away or trim away these lines that I don't need. And you can see there I have that nice circular part that's coming out from the side. Be sure to press escape to leave the trim tool, and now I'm just going to add a fillet all the way around the outside and to the insides of the sketch. And we can apply fillets right here in the sketch with this fillet sketch tool. So you can see here it is located, I see it right there in my menu. I'm not seeing it here, but you should be able to find it under the modify menu. You can see here fillet. So I'm going to take this line and this line, and you'll see it's waiting for me to give a fillet radius. We're going to be using 5 in this design. I'll pan across and then add 5 to this edge and 5 to the edge of these two lines, so we have 5 all round. And then I'm going to also come in close here and touch this circle and this one. That'll be 5. and I'm going to now press escape. Doesn't appear to have added the fillet on here. It might be too much, so I'll try that again. This one and this one, and we'll try 3. Press enter. Here we are. 3 works nicely there. We'll just bring out the measurement so it's a bit easier to see. And then we're going to add on the inside rectangle those fillets as well. So I'll choose the tool and we'll use 3 for the inside. Just move around and do that so we have those nicely filleted. Okay, we can now finish the sketch and we'll move to the home view. It's good to move to the home view because at this point we want to extrude the sketch into a model, so we'll press E for extrude tool. I will select these 2 sketch profiles but not the inner circle, that will be a hole, and then we're going to come up by 3. This will be 3 millimeters in thickness. Ensure the operation is new body, you'll click OK. We have a new body. We're going to repeat the extrude and we'll just press E for extrude, but this time we're going to try to select the sketch that's underneath this body at the moment, and there's a trick to do that. We can simply click and hold on the left mouse button. So I'll click and hold and a little menu appears, and then from that menu you can choose the sketch profile that you need. You can see it's highlighted. Okay, and if I move the model orbit here to the side, I don't want to create a new body. That's not the operation I need. I actually want to cut this body, but not cut it from the bottom, although you could, just because my home orientation is facing this way. I want to cut from the top down. So I'm going to start the cut not from where the profile is, that sketch, but from an object, and the object will be, I'll select it here, the top surface of the body. Okay, make sure the operation says cut. I'm selecting the top surface, and now I can drag the arrow down. You can see red indicates it's a cut, and the operation tells us they're cut, and we want to cut down or negatively extrude by -1. Press enter. If I turn off this sketch, number 1, you'll get a sense of the object. Okay, the final step is to add text here on this surface. To do that, I'll select it once, right click and choose create sketch. This ensures the sketch is going to appear on this surface. We're going to be using the text tool to add some text. The trick to the text tool is to define the area you want the text to appear. So I like to start at the top left corner, move across with your mouse or trackpad, and then click to the other extreme, the opposite diagonal. In the text box, put in your name, and because I've done this previously, it is using the font that everyone needs to use. This font will print reliably, so by default I believe it will be showing Arial. We want to use Futura, and every system should have this installed on your MacBook. We're going to make sure that it is bolded. We're going to make sure the height is 10, and the character spacing by default will be 0, and actually we want to set that to 10 as well, character spacing. If you have a very long name, a number of letters in your name, you might want to experiment with different character spacing and slightly different height. The alignment will be center, and then we'll click OK. We'll now finish the sketch, and you make sure you're in the home view. We're now going to emboss this text. We're going to raise it up from that sketch surface. So we'll go over here to emboss, or you'll see it in the menu here, emboss. In the emboss menu, we're asked to choose a sketch profile, that's the text. Then we're asked to choose a face, so you click, select there. The face we're going to emboss from is where the sketch is, this face. And you may need to scroll down here to see you can emboss or deboss. We're going to emboss, and the depth will be 1 millimeter. Click OK. We should be able to see now that the text is at the same height as the top surface here. Your model into the correct location. So I'm going to save. In your case, you want to make sure you're in the class of 2027 in the correct class folder. I'm going to add this to the resources folder because it is a demonstration or sample, so I'll name that sample nameplate. There we are, and I can turn that sketch off just so it looks a little bit better. I'm also going to use the appearance menu with the letter A, and in the library search for plastics, although it won't be eventually printed with plastic, give that a bit of colour. Okay, and then I'm going to export this file for the 3D printer. So if we look at the export menu, you need to give a name. So remember, you want to use the section, then your name, and then the name of the project, nameplate, and then the color that you desire from the printer. In my case, it would be green. The type of file we want to export is STL, this one, and then just pay attention to the location. Once you've exported the file, you're going to upload this file handed in as part of the assignment. And that's it.